Hey, I'm remaking this video because my condition's gotten a lot worse. Like, I can barely turn my head to the left now, and I spend about 23 and a half hours a day in bed. I just get up to go to the bathroom, get food, and clean up a little bit, and that's about all I can do. Um, and I need uh, money for picl treatment. And my alar ligament's damaged. I had a posterior PRP, like in the back of my neck, but it didn't treat the alar ligament because they can't get it to it from there. The picl treatment goes in through your mouth, out the back of your throat, and your C1. And uh, it, it injects stem cells directly into the alar ligaments that way, and then that can strengthen that. It basically connects your C1 to your skull and keeps things steady. Because now it's like if I stand up or if I try to do anything, like I feel like my head's not attached. I feel like really dizzy, a lot of pain as the muscles try to compensate, and I can barely walk. So that's where I'm at. Like I get you get an MRI and it looks fine because uh, um, the ligaments, they show up and it's just not a high enough resolution. Like for smaller things like cervical ligaments, like you could die because of neck trauma, and they can take an MRI and your ligaments will look fine. And then if they do an autopsy on you and cut you open and take a physical look at the ligaments, maybe use a magnifying glass or something, like they'll be all wrecked. They'll be torn up and there'll be all kinds of like blood vessels and like striations and all kinds of. It just looks like a mess. But on MRI, it looks fine, and it's like that had the injections on the rest of my ligaments on the back of my neck. The doctor at Regenix was doing them, and he he put the PRP in there and injected the ligament, and he said it absorbed it like a sponge. So it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to be dense fibrous tissue. It's really hard to inject with any kind of fluid, and and mine just sucked it up. And that was the ligaments like further down my neck that weren't as bad, and my alar ligaments were worse, and so they're basically not functioning. And I really need this treatment, and I can't afford it, and I don't know how long it'll take until I get disability. I might never get it. I mean, they you typically deny you outright just on principle. Even though I can't get out of bed, and I've had doctors say I can't get out of bed, and probably going to be denied. And I haven't been able to work in 2 years, so I need help. And if I don't get this, my condition could worsen to the point where, um, I mean, laying in bed when you have ligament problems is going to make it worse because you're not really using your neck at all. And you can suffer neurological damage. Like I get hot flashes now when I move my head. I get pains throughout my body because my C1's squishing my brainstem. Uh, and heart arrhythmia, like my heart will stop beating for 5 seconds at a time. And I'll check my pulse. I'll feel like a pressure in my chest. I'll feel a dread feeling, and then check my pulse, and there'll be nothing there. And it's like, and I go to the hospital. I get one to the ER, and they're just like, yeah, you'll have to find someone else to treat you. Everyone wants to tell me to go to the ER like that's some kind of miracle cure, and they don't know what to do. The only thing they have to do is take CTs. Maybe they'll do an MRI, and then they'll just say, hey, you're fine, sorry. Gainesville, I talked to them, and it's like I sent them my MRI, and it's, of course, but my MRI shows nothing wrong because you can't see anything, so it's like they don't see any reason to operate on me. So I talked to Dr. Bolognese in New York, but that's like 10 months out before I can see him, if I'm lucky. And I don't know if I'm going to live that long. And I really need this, or I'm worried I'm just going to die because my condition keeps worsening. And, if you just, it's just logical. You look at the trajectory, like where I was about a month and a half ago, I could walk, and now I can barely walk. And it just keeps getting worse every day. And it's just that one problem area. And the PRP did help my neck and the lower down. I noticed significant improvements lower down my neck, like grinding and stuff that I had before is no longer happening. It's just it doesn't address the alar ligament. So I think it's really promising. It could really help me. I've seen people that are like me and they get a treatment or two and a PICL and they're able to get up and move around and live sort of a normal life. And so I mean, that's my only hope. So I need help. Well, that's pretty much it for me. Thanks.